Today we're gonna share a few things you must know about before moving to Paraguay. What about credit cards?
Before visiting or moving to Paraguay, it's important that you have talked to your local bank. Wherever you're located, make sure that your ATM card, your debit card, your credit card got overseas use enabled. A lot of banks will have what we call geographic control, which says that if you're outside your country, you may not be able to use your credit card. So we want to make sure that you're able to use your credit card while you're in Paraguay. And how you can make sure that that actually happens is when you give your bank a call and tell your bank about your travel plans. Tell them that you're going to be traveling to Paraguay for, 3 weeks. You're going to be away, you're going to be out of the country for a couple of weeks. Then your bank's going to tell you whether you can use your card or not, or what you have to do in order to use your card. And so you want to do this before you come here, because the last thing that you would want to happen is for you to come here and have brought very little cash and not be able to use your credit cards, because there's not much you can do without money in any place. So do that, call up your bank, whether that's in America, in Canada, in Europe, wherever you're located, call your bank and tell them about your travel plans. Some banks have like an online application, like an app that you can download on your phone, and where you can actually enable or disable the geo control. And once you've done that, you can use your card. Let's say you enabled your geo control, you actually turned your geo control off, which means that you can use your card in a country like Paraguay. And oftentimes banks will also give you an option to give it a specific time frame. Let's say you're going to be away for 3 weeks, then you can set that. Some banks might not require that, other banks might require it, so I definitely recommend you to check up on that. And sometimes what also happens is when you visit a country for the first time and the bank said, they see that a transaction has been posted from a different location, they're going to be skeptical, and they should be, because they want to protect their customers against fraud. So they're probably going to give you a call and ask you, are you currently located in Paraguay? And you just got to tell them where you are and that everything is fine, so your card does not get blocked.
Does Paraguay accept dual citizenship?
This is a question for those who want to naturalize in Paraguay. You want to come here, your intention is to get residency, and in Paraguay you have residency with a path to citizenship, which is fantastic. It's what a lot of people want. They want to give up their current citizenship. Not everybody, but many people do want to do that. But to answer the question, Paraguay does only allow dual citizenship in a very limited number of cases. For instance, Paraguay has the dual citizenship agreement with Italy and Spain, but for most other citizens, it would be very difficult to do that, to have dual citizenship with Paraguay and another country. And so because of that, Paraguay is not an ideal country for dual citizenship, but it is a great country for residency, which is something that we're going to talk about now.
Is Paraguay a good place for residency?
Paraguay is one of the best places for second residency in the entire world, Bianca. And I'm going to tell you why in the next minute or two. So what's great about residency in Paraguay is that once you get temporary residency, and we're talking about the current conditions, okay, the current rules, whatever you want to call them, for you to get residency. So you come here, if you want to get temporary residency, you can finish the whole process probably in a week to 2 weeks, depending on what time of the year you arrive here. If you arrive during a holiday season, chances are offices will be closed. It will be harder to get it done in a shorter amount of time. But if you come during a normal time, a regular time, you can probably get it done in like 5 to 10 business days, and sometimes even less than 5 business days. What I want to say about residency in Paraguay is that you can get tax residency in Paraguay, which says that if you live in Paraguay for 120 days or more per year, then Paraguay sees you as its tax resident. And this is very powerful because Paraguay exercises a territorial tax system. Paraguay has a territorial tax system which says that if I'm a tax resident in Paraguay, then my overseas income, because it's a territorial tax system, which says that if your income, let's say in this instance my income or your income, is derived from outside of Paraguay, you can consume that income tax-free in most cases. Local income is taxed at 10%, corporate income is taxed at 10%. So this is a very lenient approach that Paraguay took, attracting a lot of foreigners back to the country. So let's say you got temporary residency in Paraguay. Okay, you want to convert to permanent residency. Fantastic. You can do that after 2 years. The first time you come here, you do all the application, you get temporary residency. The next year you come back to check in, maybe take a trip, take a vacation, meet some friends here. And then after 2 years from the date your temporary residency card was issued, after 2 years or 2 years later, you can convert to permanent residency. So you're going to apply permanent residency, and that is permanent. That is for life. And once you've lived in Paraguay, once you've gotten that 183 days a year for 3 consecutive years, you can apply for citizenship. But like we said, Paraguay does not permit dual citizenship in most cases. Vaccines are always a really interesting subject because there are people that are for vaccines and there are people that are against vaccines. Now, this is completely your choice. You can do whatever you want to do. Some people want to get routine vaccines before coming to Paraguay. Other people think it's not necessary. But if you want to get like the basic vaccines, let's say that's hepatitis, also like typhoid, couple other vaccines, then you're welcome to do that. So make sure you plan appropriately. You have enough time to get these vaccines. Why? Some of them require multiple shots, and obviously there are intervals that must be kept for the vaccine to be effective. So I definitely recommend you to consult with your local health provider to make sure that you have gotten all the vaccines that are important before coming to Paraguay.
Feel free to put your questions in the comments below. Thank you for watching Nomad Elite.